attention. They want to persuade President Trump to continue to stand up for democracy, whatever aspects of the NATO alliance they can convince him are valuable, and quite specifically, the defense and livelihood of the man standing to the president's right, who demonstrates the current longest and many say most courageous stand against the aggressive invasion by Vladimir Putin. Now, this began with Ukraine President Zelenskyy arriving for these talks. This is the first Oval Office meeting those two leaders have had since the now infamous and unusual clash they held before the cameras inside the Oval Office. Now, whatever you think of Donald Trump's policies and style, it is not enough to go through the world repeating the same view when the facts or situations change. And so while many people allied with Ukraine are still very critical of what Trump did on Friday, seeming to give Putin the world stage without getting anything back, and his overall approach to this war, in contrast to these two men's last infamous meeting, today was diplomatic, at times even cordial and warm. Some of that because of Zelenskyy's effort, which of course reflects every talent and energy he has to do whatever he can to move Donald Trump, to move this leader of the United States towards Ukraine's side right now. But it was, in all ways, a more traditional and more cordial meeting. Both leaders also discussed how the next step in ending this war, which Russia started, must ultimately mean some step towards a ceasefire and some sort of direct diplomacy with Friday's summit star, Vladimir Putin.
I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilateral.
We are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral.
I just spoke to President Putin indirectly, and we're going to have a phone call right after these meetings today. And we may or may not have a trilat.
The trilat, as it's known in shorthand at Foggy Bottom in the State Department, is those three countries together. And again, while there are many people critical of Donald Trump's approach here, he doesn't have to hold meetings with anyone. Bookending Friday's unusual summit with today's more traditional White House diplomacy, one-on-one with Zelenskyy and then meeting with the other leaders, does reflect a kind of a balancing. As to those leaders, it was France, UK, and some other big European nations, kind of a NATO light style gathering, emphasizing across the board that they want to stand up to Putin, who is a dictator, and behind Ukraine as it fights on and on, year after year, for its survival.
We are all united here with Ukraine on this.
The bravery of Ukrainians and with the unity that we all provided.
It's Team Europe and Team United States helping Ukraine.
That's the view from those other leaders who are close to it and who have a very real-world sense of the way that Vladimir Putin seeks to dominate the theater of foreign policy that they occupy. Now, at one point, Trump paused the meeting to step out and call Putin. Throughout the day, Trump also talked about his confidence in Vladimir Putin on all this. And then there was what appeared to be a hot mic moment, something that everyone in politics or media or any mic'd activity knows about, which is there are rules and regimens, especially at these kind of summits, because the leaders want to sometimes say things into the mic to the world and other times very clearly not. So what we saw, we're going to show you, it appeared to be something that Donald Trump didn't necessarily want to say to the world, but he was heard discussing that the Russian leader Putin does, in his estimation, still want a deal.
I think he wants to make a deal with me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds.
As crazy as it sounds. We are joined now by Rick Stengel, former